Learn how to stick float fish on a river like a pro. How to tackle up from start to finish and catch fish like this. Simple and easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. So in this video I'm going to explain to you how you do the art of trotting, but first what we're going to have to do is tackle up the rod. So then fishing buddies, I'm going to show you how to set this rod up. What you got to do is get your 12-foot float rod, put your reel, engage it in like that, and you literally screw that down onto there. Put all your rod together and make sure all your eyes are in line all the way down your rod. So you're checking that all your eyes are in line all the way down your rod. Now to put your line, what you're going to do is go under your bail arm, pass it underneath your bail arm, like that. Take your bail arm off, so hold up your fingers, take your bail arm off, and then pass that line through the eyes. So you put your line through the centre of your eye, so all your eyes, all the way down your rod, right to the end. So once you've passed it all the way through all your eyes, what you need to do then is then get your float. So what you're going to need, you're going to need a float, stick float. You get this from the tackle shop. You need some of these rubbers. You're going to need a pair of scissors. What you do, you put the rubber over the top and you cut them. You can see there, you cut them to that size. Obviously different sizes for different stick floats. So that's what you're going to need. So once you've cut them to the size, they all fit. You want three or four. That's just in case one of them snaps. Pull your rubber off. Pull them all off. And they do slide up and down float. Get your line. Starting with your biggest rubber first. Put your line through, like that. And then slide your rubber over the top of your float. And then your next size rubber onto your line. So you put next size rubber on. And then your smallest rubber. Put that on. And slide them over your float also. So slide it down like that. And like that. How you want it. So for this next part of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm brought it inside so I can show you better. What you're going to need is a packet of shots, all different sizes, number 8s, number 10s, number 9s. What I do is I put a number 10 where the hook. So I've tied the hook on. I've just used an overland loop, tie that on. You can see that. So I've used an old hook. What you do is put, if that's your hook there, you can see it. I put a number 10 there. So I put the number 10 shot. That's why I've used this background. Just there, you can see it. And then what I'm going to do is do the curve. People keep asking about this curve, so I'm going to show you. So using 3 number 8 shots, I space them out and I'll show you the curve. So if you can see that on camera, what I've done is I've spaced one there, a smaller gap, then a bigger gap. And what happens is, as the fish picks that up, it doesn't feel that buckle shot. And that's the curve. And what will happen is, your hook, as you're trotting down, your hook curves up. And this way is a lot better to hook fish. Then what you need to do is space out your number 8 shots. So there you go. I've done 4 number 8 shots. I know this float. So I've done 4 number 8 shots. And they're all evenly spaced up the line, going up to my float. Now, you can move these up and down. They don't damage your line. You can move the, depending on how the fish are feeding, you might want to bulk your shot. So you pull them up like that. You can bulk your shot. Depending on how the fish are feeding, that day you go fishing, you can keep playing about with these and work out what's what. Like I said, these do move up and down your line. They do not damage your line. It's going to say what I do is I put 2 number 8 shots. You can see that on camera. I put 2 number 8 shots just there, just above the float. You can move this float up and down. But this sinks the line behind the float. And also, if you've ever used a pole float with this above it, that's literally where your pole would be. So as you're striking to that fish, this helps hook a lot of fish when you strike on the strike. So that, like I say, it's shirt button style going down, and that drop, that curve is there. And don't forget to put your number 10 close to your hook, so you're all ready to fish. So without further ado, we'll get back on the river and go and catch some fish. Using an underarm cast, I cast my line out and I make sure that I've got a tight line and no bows in my line. It's called mending your line. You'll notice here, leave the bail arm off. Use my finger as the bail arm, and then as soon as I know I've got a bite and I'm into the fish, the bail arm goes back on.
So that kingfisher then, shoom, straight past camera.
Taking the bail arm off, I do an underarm cast. What I do is I use my finger as a brake and keep giving it line as it trots down and try not to move the float. I add maggots, and as soon as I get a bite, use my finger to stop my line and then engage the bail arm and start to reel in the fish. If you put your finger onto the spool, you can actually hold your rod back, which in turn will stop the float and bring the bait up in the water. Give this a go and see where the fish want to be feeding, in what depth. This is a better fish.
That's a point rod a bit, that one. Let's get him in there, hang on. Landed. Nice dace, right good dace that. And away.
Once again, the underarm cast. To mend your line, flick your wrist over, and this will in turn straighten the line out, and your line will be banked behind your float. That's exactly how the presentation should be. So to give line, use your finger on your spoon. Just before the float's going to move, give line. Take your finger off and let the flow of a river take your float down the river. Do not do as I've seen other people do, taking the bail arm off, pulling line, bail arm on, bail arm off, bail arm on. This is not the way to stick float. It should all be soft and smooth. If you do it taking your bail arm on, bail arm off, bail arm on, bail arm off, what'll happen is you'll be watching what you're doing with your hands and you'll miss too many bites. And you'll not get the correct presentation. So if you watch as I drop this in, I get a little pull to the side just to mend my line. A little flick, just keep getting a little flick and letting that line go through your finger and trot down before the float moves. Now I have found in all the years of fishing, using a 13-foot or a 12-foot float rod is one of the best rods you can use, as you'll find it a lot easier to mend your line and give good presentation. So if you look in the middle of the screen, you can see roughly how deep the water is. If you're not able to judge the depth of the water, always take a plummet with you. And as I showed you from the start of the video, using number 8 dropper shots are really good shots because they don't damage your line, and you can move them up and down and change your depth and the way that your bait's dropping through the water, and find out how the fish are feeding. This in turn will help you catch more fish. Now on the far side of the river, you can see an overhanging tree and a waterfall that's bringing oxygen into the water. This is usually where the chub, trout, grayling and dace will sit, waiting for the free offerings to come down the river. Plus once the sun is on the water, you can see that that's a deeper area, so there's more water for the fish. So what you'll notice here is I cast it in and I had to miss a bite. If it were a really long trot, I'd usually let it carry on trotting down. But I decided to bring it in, and with an underarm cast, I drop it back in and let it go back down the river on the same line.
Maybe I'll fish on. Do a nice chub. job. Go on, mate, on the way.
I do recommend you get yourself a pair of waders and actually a maggot pouch what connects to your side so you can actually the maggots while you're in the river. It's a lot easier.
Dave can see me float, I can see me float clearly, but if you want to see me float, drifting down with the fish. This one is. Baby little chub, that one.
So all I keep doing is repeating the process. Casting in, trotting down, keep bail arm off, finger on the spoon, and as soon as I'm into a bite, watch the float go under, use a finger, hook into the fish, bail arm back on, and reel it in. And it's as simple as that.
That feels better. Another nice chub. I've had loads of fish.
So the fishing buddies, I hope I explained that part of the video alright for you, and I hope it helps you put some extra fish on bank this summer. Stick float fishing. I love stick float fishing, I've done it for 40 years, and my granddad taught me when I was a young lad, and if you'd ever seen me put bail arm on, bail arm off, I think I'd have snapped my fingers off at that point, but that's how my granddad were, so he taught me the correct way. I used to fish on Trent and all over the place. Don't forget, check out all the Facebook groups we're in. I will leave links in description below to every group that we post in and everything else. Brilliant posting your groups and everything, so thank you very much for that. Also, check out Parker Baits, family run business. They do double dusting, they do pellets, they do all sorts of stuff, and great bunch of guys. So make sure you check them out because they are in this Facebook group. I did go down and get the maggots from Fishing Republic. So if you're in Barnsley area, please go and check them out as well for your baits. And till next time, tight lines all. And if you've enjoyed the video, get a quick thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to, it's all free. And we'll see you up next one. We'll probably be at Willigarth doing something, and I think we're out with the map man. He's going to come down and show us some new tactics. So stay tuned for that one. So till next time, take care all, and see you again. Take care all. Take care. So while I put my feet up and have a brew, why don't you come and season 2 and check out one of the videos. Until next time, take care and tight lines.